ध्यानमूलं गुरोर्मूर्ति पूजामूलं गुरुपदम् मन्त्रमूलं गुरोर्वाक्यं मोक्षमूलं गुरुकृपा ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति. Gita, we are studying Gita, and a very important topic in the second chapter. We can say that who is a yogi and a meditator? And the answer is man of steady wisdom. Man, or you can say a seeker of steady wisdom. Then we have to understand what is this steady wisdom and where this wisdom lives. That lives in the intellect. We all have an intellect. So now question is of steadiness. Steady wisdom. We say steady body. We cannot say steady breath, but definitely we can say steady mind and the steady wisdom. So we do not allow this intellect to be twisted, to live in delusion, to live in wandering state. And if that happens, the ignorance takes over. And when ignorance takes over, ignorance causes the suffering. So, the Krishna, the teacher, the great teacher, is answering the question to the seeker how to settle in that wisdom. So, that wisdom is known as prajna in Sanskrit. Prajna, prana. The prana means higher consciousness. So, what is higher consciousness? That helps us to be away from the stress and suffering. And this is the path of knowledge. Knowledge means I need to understand it clearly. So, understanding gives me the knowledge. The knowledge settles in the intellect, and that intellect then passes on the information to the mind and the body for action. So our thought, speech, and action lives into that state. So Krishna is explaining how the meditator thinks, speaks, acts, lives his life. This is very important for us to understand. So, how to settle in that prajna? So, let me reproduce first where we were last time. We were last time. The seeker was got very deeply interested. Oh, you get in meditation, you awaken to the reality, and then you are on the real self. So now he has a very relevant question. He says, Sthita Pragyasya ka bhasha. How he speaks? Samadhisthasya Keshava. Keshava is the name of a Krishna master. Oh, tell me, my friend and guru, tell me, how? So there are four questions. So first question, you explain to me what is Sthita Prajna, means steady wisdom in English. Second question, how does he speak? Third question, how does he sit? Fourth question, how does he walk? So don't take it literally, how does he sit? Huh? So don't be misguided by that. So now we are understanding. So first question, first answer, what a beautiful answer. and we need to ponder, we need to brood over it. So that is the verse number, uh, second chapter and 55th verse. Prajahati yada kaman sarvan parth, parth, seeker, manogatan atmani aivatmana tushta sthita prajna tada uchyate. So he's defining what is the steady wisdom. So now reflect on it. The intellect has a steady wisdom, then you are a meditator. Whether you have done 10 years of practice or 1 day of practice. So now he is expressing sthita. So what he is expressing? So now to see. So, so now he is answering Prajahati. Understand that word, Prajahati. Prajahati yada kaman sarvan parth manogatan. What a beautiful, simple answer. What the the master is saying. Let me summarize it first, and then we'll understand it. I am satisfied with myself. I am satisfied in myself. I am satisfied for myself. You know who gave that proverb? Democracy is for people, to people, with people. So same, something like this. I am satisfied with myself. I am satisfied for myself. I am satisfied in myself. What is that myself is the real self. So in Meditator, I discover that real self. So when I discover the real self, I see, oh, it is full of permanent peace and happiness. So I'm explaining the second line. Atmani ev atmana tushtaha. I am satisfied, ultimate satisfaction with myself. That man is known as a man of steady wisdom, a meditator, or a yogi. We put our name Yogi, Brandy, Yogi, Kate, easily. Huh? Yogi John. So here the Krishna is pointing you, come on, first settle there. I had lot of titles and I removed all. Why to put it? So now understand the word satisfaction. So that then we will go to Prajahati. We'll understand what is the meaning of the first. Yada kaman sarvana parth manogatana. Our masters, our gurus have categorized the three types of satisfaction. We have answer, we have clarity. So these three types of satisfaction is known as, let me write and then three types of satisfaction outside. First is known as rati, uh, then known as trapti. We all have in knife. Then the third one is known as tushti. Rati. Rati means the physical pleasure. You can include the sexual also rati. So we have a sex and we are satisfied today. We are not satisfied. Second level is known as satisfaction by eating a certain food. Food of different kinds. Third type of satisfaction comes when I have a certain amount of wealth and I want that to continue and I want to earn more. So the tushti, the third level of satisfaction, comes with accumulation of possessions and the wealth. There are only three types of satisfaction in the world. You can extend it. Fourth type of satisfaction, only the meditator can get it. I am satisfied with myself. I am happy with myself. I am at peace with myself. That peace, that happiness, that satisfaction is independent of everything outside. What I need for that? My intellect checks me. It is none of these three satisfactions. The intellect says they are temporary, there are fleeting satisfactions, they come and go, they are not permanent. You say that I'm very happy with the sex today. So, can you do sex 24 hours a day? So you cannot have satisfaction. I like pasta, I eat pasta, I'm very happy eat with the pasta. So, when you are in stress, eat pasta. That doesn't give you happiness. Even if you become Bill Gates, there is no ultimate satisfaction. Wealth accumulation. You see the clarity. So now, it does not mean that I should not eat pasta if I like it. It simply means I must remain aware where in this crazy head that I this is not going to give me permanent happiness. So he has just defined, and then we will expand it more and more. Understand? So that is the first, second verse. Now come to Prajahati. Because I know 100% that the peace and happiness is inside. Who knows? Intellect. Do you have a clarity? Yes, I have a clarity. So today I have money? No. Should I get disturbed? No. Steady wisdom. So Prajahati, the word Prajahati means giving up well, giving up for the best of in my life. I don't have. Let me work. I will earn. Do you see that? So now that wealth is not for the sake of satisfaction. That sexual pleasure is not for the sake of satisfaction. I see a lot of ads. You are about 60 years old. Here are the pills. Now you fill in the blanks. So your mind is caught by these advertisers and they put you in trouble. So what yoga says, satisfaction, what exactly? I want an ultimate satisfaction, permanent satisfaction in my life. Intellect is settled. Only the real self can satisfy you. Nobody else in the world. Live into that. So you see that kama, the first line is that kama is a desire. So understand that part the moment you start moving into a deeper and a higher meditative state. Your intellect will recognize there is no ultimate satisfaction there. When you really recognize, it will not cause any duality, conflict, problem in your mind. You don't react. You know, a lot of marriages are broken only because of this rati, the first level of satisfaction. We already know it. We might have heard the story. Kamana. So now comes the word. Now the question remains. What is the question? But my mind is always running after one or the other kind of satisfaction. I buy 50 pairs of clothes and still I remain unsatisfied. Huh? Or I can give an example. I marry, I divorce, and then I remarry only to seek the satisfaction. I want one car. No, no, I want five cars. That will give me satisfaction, but still I'm unsatisfied. I have to think. I am not saying you have resources, you buy 100 cars. But main question is the more I think where my satisfaction is located. So where your satisfaction is located, it means I have to undertake a journey. I have to understand. I have to understand the very root of the desire. Very root of desire. And the very root of desire is seeking satisfaction in the world outside, where it is not. Where it is not. It is not there. And if it is there, tell me. If a spouse are talking to each other, huh, and they say, you ultimately satisfy me, it means that he becomes or she becomes a commodity. I must chase him or her to get the ultimate satisfaction. I'm making it little tough. It is not there. So the intellect has understood today, but the mind pulls us. Mind lives with desires. Intellect lives with the wisdom. Body lives with an action. So, what is Jnana Yoga? The intellect must live with the wisdom. One, it should not overpower, it should not be overpowered by the mind that lives with the desire. Means mind has started working on me, and when it works on me, it is constantly looking for satisfaction, and then we get carried away. Then we have problems in the suffering in our life. Did you understand the word sthita prajna, steady wisdom? It's all about I think I also think that you give me satisfaction. Now I think, oh, where is the satisfaction lies? If you are an object of my satisfaction, so satisfaction is always outside. It will never come inside. I will never be satisfied. Prajahati. So that word is, Prajahati. Let us not go deeper in other verses. We will go a little deeper. Sthita prajna, Prajahati. So Rati, did you understand? Rati, Trakti, Tushti. Three types of satisfaction in our life. You give me the fourth type of satisfaction. There is no. That is the beauty of understanding. Why I'm living my life? Why I'm earning money? Why I want to buy a car? Satisfaction. So my intellect is very clear. The satisfaction outside, no way. Inside, yes. So I'm satisfied with myself. So this car helps me to drive. It is fully loaded. Take an example, fully loaded. Minus ego. Buy any car that is fully loaded, that you can afford. Run it. We don't think in that way. So when you do not think in that way, huh, one day your friend says, this BMW is wonderful, and it mind triggers constantly. In the first line, Prajahati. Now the mind is obsessed with that desire, with that thoughts. You go and buy it, huh, that you cannot afford. But a plastic car can afford anything, everything. But after a few months, we know what the plastic card does to us. You see, the live your life fully. This is what yoga teaches us. Live your life like a king. King does not mean that even if you have neighbors have a BMW, what it has to do? Oh, you're a crazy guy. I simply say it. But when I live within myself with an ultimate satisfaction, see, the life becomes a king size. I have not to show that I'm living a life like a king. I am living a life of king internally. Yeah, that is what yoga talks about. My master used to say, uh, I remember in Hindi, uh, nahi hai ek bhi pai. I don't have even a single penny in my pocket because I don't have any pocket. He has the orange colored clothes. It is because of this I'm the king. I'm not dependent on anything. नहीं है मेरे पास एक भी पाई, हाँ, तभी तो कर रहा हूं शहंशाही. That is why I am a king. If I'm dependent on anything, I'm not a king. I'm a slave. That comes from the steady wisdom. You can link it to the Patanjali Yoga Sutra also. Because of the three types of satisfaction, we have these first three subjective states of the mind. That is why the mind is constantly wandering to seek the satisfaction. That is why it becomes obsessed with something and falls into anxiety and duality and a conflict, forgetfulness. And that is why the mind disturbs you in the practice of meditation. Where I'm doing meditation, mind says you must have BMW. My honey is crazy. I have to take a right decision. Let me practice what the decision has to do with your relationship in meditation. This is the third subjective state of the mind. So first three subjective states of the mind comes because the mind is wandering for satisfaction outside. And the five group of thought pattern, that is what we say vritti. Pramana viparya vikalpa nidra smriti. They will never leave you. John, cause of it. What is the cause? Rati, trapti, tushti. Three types of satisfaction. It is only because of this the mind is wandering. So now go further. We have already studied panch vritayah, panchatayah, klishta, aklishta. So these thought patterns are either painful and non-painful. This is what we have studied early, right? So what is painful? Seeking satisfaction. How do you deal with non-painful thoughts? What are those non-painful thoughts? That is what we are discussing. See there. Did you find it? Those thoughts are painful and non-painful. So this is how, John, we link the different text. They tell you the same thing. Sometimes they tell you at the surface level, others tell you, okay, then that is the first verse that we have done out. Now he explains. What he explains? What about daily life? You have explained. Continue to explain me the daily life. And now see the daily life. Another verse number 56. Dukheshu anudvigna manah sukheshu vigat spraha vitarag bhay krodha sthita dhi muni uchyate. So here, instead of yogi, the Krishna, the master, uses the word Muni. Muni comes from the word, roughly coming from the word Manan. I think. Teacher thinks for you. That is meaning the teacher is teaching you, in yoga, right? Now you have started thinking on these principles, then only you become a seeker. And that person is known as Muni. Huh? Do you see the second last Sanskrit word? Muni uchyate dukheshu anudvignaha manaha sukheshu vegataspraha vitarag bhay krodha sthiti muni uchyate. He whose mind is undisturbed in the midst of sorrows and pleasures is free from the desire. It doesn't mean that if you like to take a cup of coffee, no, I have to free from taking coffee. No, I have a desire to eat food. No, 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 I will be free from eating food. I have a desire to go to the restroom. I will be free from. Don't twist it. Understand clearly. Understand clearly. So he whose mind is undisturbed, when sorrow enters into the life, when pleasure enters, why? We is free from the desire. That means you are free from the desire. From whom liking, fear, and the wrath have passed away, is the master, is the sage of settled understanding. So another explanation of steady wisdom. Another explanation of who is the meditator. Who is a meditator? A meditator, I practice meditation, so I had a beautiful experience. I went into heaven and I returned from heaven and went back to hell again. So that is not your experience. The experience is settled understanding. That intellect cannot be disturbed in the midst of sorrow, in the suffering. Dukheshu anidavigna manaha sukheshu vegataspraha. So now see that. Keep in your mind. First question was, describe to me what is the steady wisdom. Who is the man of steady wisdom? So simple answer, who is settled in meditation. Second question, how does he speak? How does he sit? How does he walk? So we are finding the answers of these questions. These questions. So, Dukheshu, Anidagna, what is that? Now to understand little deeper. Trouble and the sorrow enters into your life enters into life. But you never get affected. Can I stop your lips not to abuse me? Not to praise me? I have no choice. I have no choice on you. But I have choice on myself. Do whatever you say. You abuse me and appreciate me. I'm happy. I will remain happy. That choice lies with me. Are you getting it? Dukheshu anudvigna manaha sukheshu vigatspraha. First line. Can I start living in that kind of a life? I'm already a king. Vitarag bhaya krodha. So understand, dukheshu, sorrow enters when we start thinking, speaking, and acting wrongly. And became aware and prevent thinking, speaking, and acting. You see that? Now think of this. We are talking of the intellect, steady wisdom. For example, you abuse me, so I have also one choice. I reciprocate. You hurl abuse number 1, which is very low. I hurl an abuse number 2, which is little higher. Then you use 3. Point. I use 4. And the war continues. First option. Second option. I understand this is an abuse and insult. And I keep quiet. Third option, I understand that is really, no one keeps these abuses because everyone is the real self. From where this knowledge comes from the intellect, the steady wisdom. Can you hijack my knowledge? No. Can you have a choice? No. I have a choice to live in that steady wisdom. So that is why he is referring Munihi Uchyate. Do you think in this way? You're doing meditation on one side, but now does the meditation awaken this wisdom in you? If not, you're not a meditator. You may have a beautiful experience. You go to hell or heaven. I have a lot of hallucinations. You meet God and goddesses. It doesn't work. See that? See that? Now, see that there is another part that is also to be understood. Yeah, let me pick up a little bit. It is all about law of karma. Yesterday, I appreciated you all. I praise you all. What I will get today, my mind is totally at peace. So the cause yesterday became an effect today. This is what we call the sin and the virtues. If I perform the noble actions in my life, so that will help my intellect to live into good state. The mind will accumulate the good impressions, and those good impressions will create favorable conditions in my life. If I do the opposite, unfavorable condition, that unfavorable condition is nothing but sin. We don't define the sin in terms of religion. Forget about that. You are living in unfavorable condition, you are living in pain, you are suffering, it is because of the sin. What is that sin? Because I performed some actions in the past or in the previous birth. So what should I do? I have to experience the effect of it. There is no remedy for it. So how to face that? How to face that? Not affected by anything. Let the pain and the suffering remain outside. They should not touch me. This is the Dukheshu Anudevnamara. Gita says, make your intellect so strong, not dwindle in case of effects of sorrow and pleasure. Say out of the blue, unconsciously, because of certain point of the ego. Yesterday I fought with you. Can I get rid of its effect? My heart is burning, my mind is burning. I'm thinking, what is the best solution? Not affected. Transcending this sorrow in the way. Three types of sorrow and suffering. I've already explained the physical one, the mental one. Do you see that Sri Krishna so understood that we are finding an answer who is a man of steady wisdom, means who has achieved a state of meditation 24 by 7, how he thinks, how he sits, how he walks, how he lives his life. Just pick up the 57th verse is also very interesting. Yah sarvatra anabhi sneha tat prapya subh ashubham no abhinandati na dveshti tasya pragya pratisthita. So here again he explains pragya pratisthita. The last two words in Sanskrit, what is say? Pragya pratisthita, the man whose wisdom is steady. Who? Who in all things is without affection, though visited by this good or that evil, and neither hates nor rejoices. His intelligence sits firmly founded in the wisdom. You get something. I have already explained two verses, so you have got it. So what he says, na sarvatra anabhi sneha. Can you live in 100% foolproof situation in the world? Tell me. Look from the other point of view. Can you say, Arizona, tomorrow you should have snowfall? I cannot change the outer conditions of life, including my body. I should understand clearly. Whenever those situation comes in my life, I have to face them. You do not go to the doctor and ask him, please tell me what is sickness I will have after 6 months. Do you see that? You have to face it when they come. So question is how to face them. You face them with steady wisdom. Great master Ramakrishna had a throat cancer who lived in 1905 or 1910. His disciples were crying, and he told all of them that I am not the body. Body has a cancer. What should I do? You are already taking care of this body. Do you have that level of awareness? So do not fool others and don't misguide your mind. You inherited diabetes from your parents. Now you are doing meditation. Now you say, through yoga, I should go beyond diabetes. It is in cause was there in the past, effect is today. So, two options. Let me do the best. I may be able to manage it. Even if it is not, I live in a steady wisdom, knowing constantly I am not the body. Are you understanding? Don't fall back into a hallucination. I have a squint eye. Oh, yoga will correct it. Come on. Yoga takes you to steady wisdom. Meditation is reveals the knowledge of the reality that may have an impact on the body. That is secondary thing. We are not talking there. We are not going there. But I should be settled in yoga. Na sarvatra anabhisneha. So Lord says, Master says, Arjuna, seeker, that man of a steady wisdom is unattached, equipoised in all situations. That liberty, that freedom I have. Do you see that? I have that freedom. And that steady wisdom is an ornament of real self. necklace of the real self. Huh? This is what the master is saying. So, this master, Gita, that is why Gita is so popular. Why? Because it tells you how to live, walk, speak, act in your daily life. Let the problems remain outside. I'm ready to face any challenges in the problem. That is the beauty of this Gita. Every chapter is one school of yoga, not style of yoga. Krishna doesn't believe in styles of yoga or the real teachers. But continues. So you will not hear such a person complaining of anything. He does not feel any dislikes for anyone, nor does he leap into the ecstasy when he is among favorable people. In good or bad, he is the same. Such a person cannot be displeased or shaken in any way, cannot be pleased in any way. He is fixed in the wisdom, steady in all conditions. This you get by when you succeed in meditation. I am not saying. One thing is clear. Tradition is behind me. That is supporting me. That's why I'm explaining. He is free from the fear or anger or anxiety in his speech. Now we are answering. Ordinary, we respond to sorrow by wanting to know who has caused you. Oh, you are so much painful. I hug. Simple. No, hug. You also hug. But internally, you are in the steady wisdom. It is not that if someone comes to you crying and you also start crying. Why I am crying? Because you are crying. Why? Because I am a good person. You see that I have a lot of sympathy for you. Do not prove that you are a good person. Be good. That is steady wisdom. Ordinary, we respond to sorrow by wanting to know who is causing it, who is obstructing the entry of a joy. We then turn to that person and unleash our anger and anxiety upon him. Did you understand, Christina? You did not tell me your story, but I can guess. So, that master, that seeker, external agent is taken to be the cause of our misery. That is how the mind, in the absence of steady wisdom, blames, complains, and reacts others. Drop that completely. You're a man of steady wisdom. Uh, it goes in detail. There are a couple of the text which goes in detail and explain you go very deeper into understanding the sorrow, the pain, the reaction, the touch. I feel very bad. I feel envy. I am hated. So it goes little deeper and deeper and deeper, and it goes to that root cause. Once you go to the root cause, what your mind says, you are crazy. That's why you felt bad. There is no reason why you are in steady wisdom. So that I will take up later. So let us see the. We are still talking of steady wisdom. The master is continues explaining how he sits, how he walks, how he lives the life. 58. Yada sanharati choyam kurmah angani sarvashah indriyani indriya arthebhya tasya prajna pratisthita. Again, you see prajna pratisthita, steady wisdom. Who is that? who draws away the senses from the objects of sense as the tortoise draws in his limbs into the shell. His intelligence sits firmly founded in the wisdom. You find favorable, unfavorable condition. Some people are luring you, other is criticizing you. One is trying too hard through the word, verbally. What you do? You become a turtle, withdraw all the sense organ inside. You say, you say to me, "Oh, you are crazy." What did you say? No, no. What did you say? I still don't hear. You told me crazy. I know I am aware of it, but I don't accept it. It takes a tremendous courage. It comes by practice. It happens. It happens. This is what the master is saying. This is what the master is saying. Can you do that? Because the word is not a thing. When someone told you crazy, the word crazy, you feel bad because your mind gives the interpretation of that craziness. And intellect doesn't allow because you are a man of steady wisdom. So nothing happens, even if one says, now think of it. Think of it. I used to tell people that since birth, your parents have taught you that when I say you are crazy, I'm just praising you, appreciating you. Now, the interpretation in the mind of that world has changed. Are you crazy? And then you have a bigger smile. Yes, yes, yes. Yes. Really? You noted me rightly. See the Eastern deeper psychology, understanding means the word does not carry any weight. It is the interpretation that I give to that word. How you can do that? When you are meditating regularly, you are settled in steady wisdom. Yada sanharate, sit. Sitting implying here when he is not doing anything, which in turn means when he is all by himself. I am with myself, even when I am with you. Now see, the first answer, steady wisdom, the man who is satisfied in himself, for himself, with himself. Not the three types of satisfaction. I'm not running for three types of satisfaction. I will accumulate some wealth of praise if you praise me. That also comes from outside. So don't start thinking it means I'm a dry person. I'm a fully vibrant person. Meditator is full of life, full of joy, full of joy. Sthita prajna, man of steady wisdom. It means what? Which in turn means when he is by, the seeker is by himself. In this question, the focus is on those occasions when the master is alone, how he sits in solitude. So there is another word, J. Krishnamurti beautifully defined. So I always love to use his phrase. Being alone means what? It is made up of two words. Do you know who are the two? All plus one. Alone. In that alone, you are full of happiness. Loneliness means you expect something from outside. That is why you are lonely. That is why you are upset. Hmm? Alone, all one. There is no two. So why should I be worried? I am satisfied with myself. Go to the first definition of steady wisdom. How it happens? By regular practice of meditation. no one around me to influence my action. There is no one whom I can impress. So the behavior seen is that which is inherent in a person. There is no one to see what wrong one is doing, what right one is doing. I am alone, all one. So in all one, where is the chance to be in stress and anxiety and a problem? But when you are lonely, oh, my honey is not with me. Oh, he or she used to be my honey, but now he or she is not. I'm still expecting. Oh, you want us to become a monk. No. I want you to be successful, happy, peaceful in life. This is what the yoga is. Look at it. There is no one. Now, in, see that sadhana would take us one more. 59th verse. Ah, is also wonderful verse. Oh, Vishaya Vinir. Well, just let me first put it on your screen. विषया विनिर्वर्तन्ते निराहारस्य देहिनः रसवर्जनं रसः अपि अस्य परमदृष्ट्वा निवर्तते. In if one abstains from food, the objects of sense cease to affect, but the affection itself of the sense, the rasa remains. The rasa also ceases when the supreme is seen. Now, overcoming the inner delight. Now, what he is saying. In one example, we have already seen favorable situation, unfavorable situation. I am a turtle means that mind is a turtle. It withdraws all the five sense organ inside, sits within. Where he sits within, he is alone. I'm happy. Do whatever you want to do. So now this is an extension of the same. The turtle example in the previous verse, what it suggests? An effort on the part of seeker to withdraw from the sense objects. It takes a little effort. Oh, you said me crazy, so I hold on. No, 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 no. And done. So I make some effort. Huh? I make some effort. Years going inside. In actual fact, once you are fairly settled in the practice of meditation, it is the sense objects that keep away from you. You don't find the relationship between a particular sense object and you. It becomes so natural. You become foolproof. So that is how he gives an example with an example of a tasting the food, the taste in the food. So you feel as if you are eating a pasta or you are eating a cheese. You feel the taste in the tongue, but that sense of possessiveness, that sense of attachment is not there. Attachment is not there. That clinging is not there. That seeking of satisfaction from the world outside is not there. So you are settled completely into the inner wisdom. So now just go a little deeper. The objects that there is no point in lingering around a person or a thing or an object. Why? You know satisfaction is not there. So you're happy. I'm happy with myself. So what is that? Rasvarjanam. Rasvarjam rasa. Do you see what he is pointing out? He is pointing out that you claim that you are a meditator. So you see the pasta, and the tongue says, no, saliva, more saliva is coming out. He says, that should stop. I gave an example of the pasta, but you can apply in any situation. I'm not going there, you know it. Huh? So now see, look at the deeper level of understanding. So he's saying, oh, do you see that? I meet John, and John has I see a beautiful home, and the mind says, I let me hold back, but mind is craving for that. Because that craving, you have already created an impression, and that impression is going to create an effect in the future. See that? Now link everything. Effect in the future. You are responsible for creating an unfavorable condition in the future. John houses still stands as it is. Do you see that? Look at this. Steady wisdom. I appreciate his house. I go to his house. I appreciate him. I appreciate his house. Everything is okay. But that launching does not happen in the mind because it will create an unfavorable condition in the future. I know if I'm right, or full women may correct me if I'm wrong. I want to be right. Women have these tendencies. I'm terrible. My nose is terrible, but her nose is beautiful. Not all, but majority have that kind of. Their talk also is focused on that area. I have been with many women, for the last 40 years. Means many students, and they used to tell me, they used to explain me. So, do you see that? So, why first steady wisdom? He explained. Then he says not to be affected by the favorable, unfavorable conditions outside. Then he explains what do you mean by living alone? Alone means all one. What disturbs you? Loneliness. What gives you the joy? Being alone. Sometimes I have this room in office. I sit sometime for 5 6 hours, just sitting looking at the wall. You already know that I'm crazy, so it gives me a joy. And if the two, three, four people are living in your house, all the four people are out, and you are sitting, you are living alone. No, you are not living alone. Now your mind starts, oh, let me go, let me go to his room and her room and see why. You have already triggered the past reaction in your mind. Oh, he hided something. Now I have a chance to see that. You, by default, you go there. We have to change that. Then only you are settled in. Do you see the beauty of this understanding of so this is what he is talking about. Huh? Look at it. So man of a steady wisdom, he is explaining who's when you succeed in meditation, or you don't practice meditation, you apply your intellect. That becomes the path of Jnana Yoga. Through the Jnana Yoga, you enter into a meditative state. You need not to practice because now the intellect is steady. Huh? It lives into that state of awareness all the time. You achieve the same state.